Okay, good morning world. This, what you're seeing here, is what I'm selling on eBay next. It's a Rega Apollo R in there and a Rega DAC-R. They're going together because they work well together. They're rather wonderful. Okay, now the Rega Apollo R, I need to say that it did have a little problem, and the problem was that it wasn't reading the table of contents properly, and therefore it stopped after every couple of minutes. It's been back to Rega. I got it back yesterday, which is why it's still in its box and why I'm not unboxing it. They did a repair on it free of charge, and I'll include with it the sheet that's got details of the repair on it. Okay, it's got personal information on it, so I'm not waggling it in front of you any more than that, but it does say that they've repaired it. Okay, I'll just read to you very quickly what they said actually. It says resoldered the U6 and U7 chips, replaced CD mechanism, and they've done a check and test on it, and it was a free of charge repair. Okay, so it works. Okay, it's all packaged beautifully, including the plastic wrap and everything. Okay, you'll get all this box and all this packaging. Okay, now the DAC-R is the upgrade to the Apollo R, in that you can plug in via this lead, which I'll give you as well. Okay, this is a coaxial digital lead. Okay, if you connect this up to the CD player here, it starts, instead of it using the Apollo R's digital chip in there, which is the Apollo R's got one what we call a DAC, that's a digital to analog converter. The DAC-R has two. Okay, therefore it actually does sound quite a lot better when plugged in. The Apollo R on its own sounds brilliant. Okay, but it sounds sort of, you know, even more brilliant with the DAC-R connected. Okay, you connect that to one of the one of the coaxial inputs on the back of the DAC-R. Okay, the DAC-R also has so it's got two optical inputs and two coaxial inputs, and it's got a USB input, so you can plug in a computer. Okay, it will accept files up to 24-bit 192. It won't do DSD, which is SACD quality. Okay, so it's basically based around DVD-A, the old DVD-A quality, which gave you up to 24.192. Okay, I'll just take you around the back of the DAC, if you pardon the expression. Here we go, coming around here are my knees. Okay, and the two power leads are in this box here, down here. You'll get that with it because I'll have to pack the DAC somehow. Okay, I'll put both of them, I'll try and get both of these into this box here. I'll tell you about what was once in this box in a minute. Okay, so it's got an analog output. Okay, that's to connect the DAC to an amp. Okay, this is the DAC-R, by the way. I do have to say it's the DAC-R. It's the Rega's latest revision. It's actually, this DAC is only about 6 months old. Okay, there is a reason why I got rid of it. Okay, I'll tell you about that later. But this is a cord. What's it called? A cord chrysalis. Yeah, cord chrysalis. Okay, so you've got basically the connectors here to connect to an amp. Okay, and these are very good leads. Okay, I've had these since about 1998 or something. They still make them. Okay, so you'll get those. So that's your analog output. That's a coax digital output as well, if you want to output it into something else. Okay, I'm not really sure on my digital stuff really. I'm not amazingly au fait with digital files and everything, but you've also got an optical digital output as well. Okay, these are your digital inputs. You've got basically a coaxial digital input here. Obviously you can see that I had the CD player plugged into the coax digital input 3. Okay, and there's coax input 4. You've got optical digital input 2 and optical digital input 1 just there. okay, where my fingers are. You can't see it because of this lead here. Let's see if I can just turn it around a bit. There you go, optical digital 1 and 2, and there's your USB. Okay, so it's very, very simple. Okay, and all you do basically, you can plug in just about any digital output service into that, okay, including very cheap things like a games console, or a cheap DVD player or something like that, and the audio that you'll hear, instead of it being from the cheapy thing like the computer or the games console or whatever, this will be decoding all the audio, and it will sound one heck of a lot better, and you have to take my word for that. Okay, previously on my iMac, because I basically stream telly from my iMac, yeah, I was taking the analog outputs from the iMac into a socket on my amp, and basically you heard the very, very poor quality digital card inside the iMac, and all its jitter and horrible noise in the background. When I connected it via the optical output of the iMac into the optical input, into one of the optical inputs here on the DAC-R, suddenly the whole thing just cleaned up, and it was just an amazing transformation of quality. Okay, so it'll even make things like internet radio and stream TV and that sort of thing just sound really, really good. Okay, so these two then, they're coming as a pair. Okay, they're going on eBay very, very shortly. Okay, and I'll put the link up in the description for that. Okay, the reason I'm getting rid of it is because I do actually have a Saturn R, which is even better than these two things here. It's basically one box that replaces these two things. Okay, it has a CD transport mechanism in it, and it has all the inputs and whatnots that this DAC-R has as well. Okay, and it sounds a bit better. Okay, because it's got a beefier power supply and improved software for decoding CDs. Okay, but these two, I have to say, anyone that's never heard a hi-fi separate CD player before, or never heard a hi-fi quality CD player before, will marvel at just the Apollo R on its own, even without being plugged into this. Okay, when it's plugged into this, it takes it up to nearly the same level as the Saturn R, which is an amazing CD player. Okay, so I hope that whoever gets this will really enjoy it. Okay, all right, as I say, this is nearly new. This is 2.5 years old or something like that. It's had a repair. It's straight back from Rega. I've not even unboxed it. Okay, so it's there, and it's ready, and it's all repaired and done. Okay, all right, thank you, bye bye.